Good morning, viewers. So today we are going to look at the network logical and structural organization architecture. We will look at each of these concepts and explain each of these components in detail. Let's zoom into our network architectural diagram. So a network's logical and structural organization is referred to as its architecture. It basically explains the principles governing data transit between network devices and how the devices are connected to each other. So if you see, we have firewall, we have router, we have servers, and then we have all the end users who are connected through the VPN, and we'll have IPS and IDS systems, and then we have the data backup. Now, depending upon the goal and scope of the network, there are various approaches to a network architecture design. There are no specifications of it. It can be customized based on the need of the organization. It is very important to plan the network architecture since it either improves or degrades a system's performance. For example, network slowdown can result from selecting the incorrect transmission medium or hardware for a specific anticipated server load. When we load more and more devices connection into the network architecture can also facilitate security, which is a factor that is increasingly crucial. So thus, the network design and protocols must provide prompt and effective user identification and permission. Let's now look at each of these components. We are seeing there are two firewalls here. A firewall is a network security device which is placed to monitor all the incoming and outgoing network traffic per organization security policy. Firewall is a very vital component of a network that keeps all the organization's information confidential and secured. It also minimizes the vulnerabilities in the system. And then we have antivirus. This is a program that prevents infections to the program in the organization network or to the hardwares or softwares. And any antivirus in the network helps detect malicious code and thus protects against malware infections. We have IPS and IDS system. These are intrusion prevention system, and it is a type of security tool in the network with a set of policies to prevent any possible suspicious activity. IPS system is more advanced when compared to the IDS system, which does not take actions but can only detect a suspicious activity in the network. Now you're also seeing DMZ services, email services. DMZ services is an organization's internal local area network, is shielded from unauthorized traffic by a perimeter network called a DMZ network. Then we have Suricata and Snort. These are open source detection engine that can act as an intrusion detection system and as an IPS system. Snort is a lightweight network intrusion detection and prevention system. It is again an free and open source. It uses processors, content analysis, and searches protocols to find and stop any kind of intrusions. Snort is one of commonly used network intrusion detection system. PFSense firewall is primarily used as a router and a firewall software and is frequently set up as a DHCP server. On all the same physical devices. Proxy server. In any computer networking, a proxy server is a server application that acts as an intermediary between a client requesting a resource and the server providing the resource. Email server is also called as mail server, is essentially a computer system that sends and receives emails. When you send an email, it goes through the email server and then reaches the final destination. Then we have DHCP server. It allows hosts to obtain required TCP/IP configuration from the DHCP server that we have set up. And then it also includes the Windows server, which is optional networking server role that we can set up in the network. And what else do we have? I think, yeah, we also, in the network diagram, if you see, this is an organization that contains all the departments, 6 departments: sales, research and development, HR, and finance, IT. And each of these, we are assuming that each of these departments will have at least 25 users connecting through the VPN. And then they come and, get into the server. So before they come and get into the server, they have to go through all these authentication through the firewall, pfSense, Suricata, and gateway router, along with IPS and IDS system. So this is our network architecture that I've designed. Let's now look into our lab work. So if you see in this lab, we installed Windows 11. We also had our pfSense and Windows Server 19 running when we installed 11. We had configured regedit while installing Windows 11 per the instructions. We ensured Windows 11 is connected to the DHCP server and then is also connected to the Server 2019 and pfSense. Then we went on launching Greenbawn in Kali Linux to start our GMV scan. And we launched it and we kicked off a new scan. If you see, the scan is currently in progress. Let me maximize this so that we can see it. Okay, so we just exactly ran it today and it is in progress. And it has completed, if you see, September 26th. And then we did also do a couple of scans in the past. And these are all the history of the scans. And when we attempted to download the report, this is how we download. I select a format as PDF. And I encountered a minor issue where I am unable to open the downloaded report. But just in case if we were allowed to do that, I was unable to troubleshoot. But this is how our scan report is going to look like. It will give us a summary page, and then it will give a detailed count on the host IP, and then result on every IP address. So that is the expected result on GVM scan report. I think, viewers, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. And it was great going over the network architecture design and then the GVM scan report in detail with you all. Let's meet in the next presentation. Thank you all.